Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to do an update on the urban worm bag. Now, it has been about 29 days since my last update. We still have probably the coconut shell in there that I've been trying to see if the worms will go through. I think there was still a little bit of material left on it. It should be fully cleared out by now probably, and maybe it's just the shell itself. And we'll see, maybe I'll remove it, maybe I'll just leave it in there. We'll just keep letting it sit in the bin and see if it really erodes down or not. But let's go take a look and see how it's doing. But as a reminder, just so you know, if you click the links down below in my description, I do have ways you can purchase this through Urban Worm Bag or the company itself. Is a direct link, and that is an affiliate link. So if you're looking to purchase one of these, please use my affiliate link down below and help me out. So thank you for watching, and let's go and take a look at the bag. Alright, so here's our Urban Worm Bag. Let's open this up here and take a look and see how it's doing. Now, I've been adding a lot of food lately to my bag systems, and first off here, let's just show this right here. This is one of those little fruit fly traps I had. I don't think there's not much in it really. There's a few fruit flies, but not a whole lot, so that's a good sign. It means that they're not in here and infested or anything like that. I'm not seeing any fly out at me either. Oh, actually, all right, I see two maybe. I see one over here as well, and I saw one that flew out. So maybe there's a couple, but it's not too bad, and that wasn't very full. So that means that they're getting caught, they're getting managed, and that's really what I want. I was hoping to have zero, but you know, a couple in here, it's very normal for my house. So this center section, first off, it looks very wet. This is where we last fed, was in the center here, and that's probably where we'll feed again. But let's just sort of dig out this side section here. It looks like this material is still all very dry. I'm just going to put it over here. But as I'm digging over here, it's very dry, this material. There's maybe a slight bit of moisture content to it, but not enough for the worms to really eat or for microbes to probably grow on, which is why this is not really breaking down. And that's okay right now. So, you probably can't see that over there, but I'm just starting to reach the bottom there. So that was that side over there. So most of it is just regular material like this. Now let's dig down over here where you can see a little better. As you can see, there's a little bit of material that's been worked on that was by the center section, but over here by the side, you can see it's just all cardboard. This is why I'm not harvesting these systems yet. There's too much cardboard in here right now, and that's just going to start coming out through the bottom. I really need to get this worked up. There we go. We get some worms and some castings in there, so we're getting down. But look at that. I mean, this is actually about, you know, it's as long as my hand. So we're talking, you know, from here to here, as long as my glove. So we're talking, what, you know, a good, what, 8 inches or so, 8 to 9 inches. So you can see we're just starting to really get the worms here, but it's way down here. I mean, I'm really reaching in. And that's because we haven't fed on these sides. You know, there's no food over there. There's been nothing there to keep them going. So now, with that, let's just dig in this center section here. And this is where we're going to see the big difference here. So we're going to just, you can see we're already just going down just a little bit. We're already seeing some stuff in here. You know, it's the paper. You can tell the color difference here. The paper's more moist than the top. And that moisture is what the worms need. They need moisture to survive. It's actually a little bit of it looks like some food. Let's just see what's in here now. Okay, we've got some avocado shells. These take a while to break down. So I'm not surprised that's still in there. So we're going to put that off to the side. We've got, this looks like a shirt that I was using to mark location. As you can see here, this is really starting to break down as well. Got this one little leaf in here. I'm not sure what that's from. Oh, here's our coconut shell. It's still really hard. It looks like it's been hollowed out completely though. Let's just see in here. Yeah, this has definitely been hollowed out. Looks like there's some potworms in there and some bugs, but it's been hollowed out essentially. So we'll see if they continue to work on this. There are some springtails, it looks like, in there that are working on in there. But we'll just leave it off to the side as well for right now. We're going to put that back in. Let's just dig into this center section though. And this is where you can really start to see, we do have a corn on the cob that's right here, but you can see another worm, and you can really see that they're starting to work on this material. Now these are my European night crawlers. This is the only system I have with them. So if I lose this system, I lose all my European night crawlers. I'm hoping that does not happen, as I would like to keep the variety of worms that I have. They do look a little bit smaller than normal, but they still are in here at the bottom. So I think what we're going to need to do here though, is we're just going to shovel some more of this off. to the side here. We're just digging down here. And as I said, this is very, very deep in here. I mean, it really is very deep. But they are coming up to eat all this food, which is a good sign. Actually, this avocado shell has been worked so well, it just crinkles right apart. But let's just dig in here. Let's just get a handful of actual worms so we can see how they're doing. It keeps collapsing in there. Let's just dig down in here into this material that's really wet and moist down here. And you can see there are still plenty of worms in here. So they're just not coming up. This material doesn't have the microbes on it necessary for them to work on this cardboard. And that's the difference. They need those microbes that they can eat, and they're not there. There's plenty of worms in here though. I mean, you can see really right there, you can really see those worms. Just trying to bring it up into your view a little better, but you can really see there's a whole bunch of worms. They're kind of small though for Europeans, but that's okay. You know, it's just a matter of getting them back up into this material, getting the material moist, getting them back into eating, and they'll come back. You know, they'll start repopulating the system, and we'll start to really see them. Just grab this one off there to the side. I don't want to leave them up there. Though we'll really see them to start to take over again. So first thing we're going to do though, bury that stuff back in there, because you should do that. And we're going to put some food in. Now, I think the side over here that we dug at before, I think we're going to add it over there. I think we're going to add, and again, we're adding a ton of food to this system. I mean, we're just dumping food in. They ate through all of that over the last month. I should really probably be updating this a little bit more frequently. There we go. There's a little bit of cardboard in there, you know, to protect them. There's the materials over here that they can kind of go out of into this section, which is perfect. So what we're going to do now is we're going to grab a lot of food. So give me just a second here. And this is all frozen again, as always, but we've got a mixture of banana, clementines, I think some apple cores. We've got some coffee grounds over there. So let's just start, let me dump this in. Oh, it looks like we got a mango seed, some apple. So we've got a good variety of food in here. And as I said, this is all frozen, so there shouldn't be any fruit flies or anything like that on here, as this really does seal pretty well. Another avocado in there, more banana peels. And this stuff should go pretty quickly. So this was sitting upstairs in my kitchen, and then I freeze everything before I add it to my systems. And we're going to try to get this really moving again. These things can really move through a lot of food. I mean, it's to the point my urban worm bag version 1.0, I sit there and I can dump 2 of these in here about every month. You know, 2 full containers of food. And these are not small containers. This is usually filled with a pound of spinach. So these are pretty decent sized containers, as you can see. I mean, based by my hand here, they're like a good 12 inches long, you know, and about 4 inches deep. So they're large containers of food that I'm adding here. These are not small. Look at that. It fits in there perfectly. We're just going to slide this material back over top. I didn't add any of my crushed eggshell or anything like that this time. I typically would, but I feel like these systems really should have a lot of it. I added it almost every single time, so I could probably skip a time or two. But we want to make sure this is all covered up. And we are going to add a little bit of moisture to the top and maybe mix it in a little bit here. So let me just grab my container. Add it off to the side here. It was a little drier than I thought in here. I was hoping it'd be a little bit more wet from the amount of food we added last time. But we'll get this a little bit more moist. And that way the moisture is going to help, you know, move this along as well, because, you know, they need their moisture, because that's how they survive. So we're going to dump a lot right over this area where the food is, because that's where we really want them to go and migrate to. So we're just going to pad this area with a ton of moisture. And this does put out quite a bit of moisture. It's going to be running down these cardboard pieces. Yes, it's not all going to get absorbed, but that's okay. The idea is to just kind of get them going and get them going in the right direction here and make sure that they can live, and also that they can breathe, and they can really start tearing into this material and reproducing. So we're going to add a lot of moisture right here. As I said, this is fine that it's going to run down in here. There should be plenty of material to absorb this. So even if it gets down to the food or gets below it, you know, there's plenty of the castings below that can absorb this material as well. And we'll keep going from there. Now, with how full this is, there is another option that I have, and I might try this maybe in my vermi bag, and that is doing a harvest, and instead of taking that material and trying to sort it and get the worms out, dumping it on top and creating almost like a layered situation. And that can help speed this up, because that's going to make sure that the microbes are covered, and then you have these castings on top to kind of prevent, you know, to keep that moisture in. They really are good at holding moisture in a lot of these systems. So, all right, that should probably be good for now. So as I said, I just put it in one side there, that one corner. I really want to concentrate, get them moving all over to here from the center section, and then hopefully in a few weeks we'll come back, this will be gone, and we can feed on this side and get them kind of going back and forth and moving through this cardboard material and really start to break it down. So that's my update for this week. If you have any questions, please let me know. If you have any thoughts on this, please let me know as well. I filled these up to get rid of fruit flies with a lot of cardboard, and now it's time to really try to take it down and have them consume it. So we'll see how these European night crawlers do over the course of the next 6 months to really start getting this working again and see how much food they can really start to absorb in this system. So thank you for watching, and again, leave a comment down below.